I love the energy in this room. It's awesome. Oh, there we go. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee's 2025 Showcase. It's wonderful to see so many familiar faces, and just as exciting to see so many new ones joining us tonight. As past president, it's a joy for me to be here and to help kick off one of my favorite nights of the year. This evening, you'll experience what makes Impact 100 so special, the grants we fund by women coming together, pooling our resources, fueling bold ideas, and transforming lives and making a positive impact right here in our community. Tonight is also about looking forward and circling back to the neighborhoods, our community, and the people who inspire us. It is a celebration of our nonprofit heroes and the promise of what is still to come. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Your presence reflects the heart of our vision, of our mission, the collective giving that creates lasting impact. We have an inspiring program in store for you tonight, and it's my great honor and pleasure to introduce someone who leads with vision, energy, and heart. Please join me in welcoming our president, Margaret Cry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you to our 2025 Showcase, the official kickoff of our new Impact 100 grant cycle, and one of my favorite nights of the year. To our longtime members, thank you for your continued commitment to Impact 100. And for those of you who are here for the very first time, welcome. Tonight, you will experience the heart of our organization, women coming together, pooling resources, and transforming lives across Greater Milwaukee. When we join forces, something powerful happens. One woman's contribution combines with another woman's contribution and another until we are awarding $100,000 grants that change the trajectory of organizations and the people they serve. That is the power of collective giving. Our theme this year is Back to the Community. It's a reminder that everything we do, every dollar, every hour, every decision is rooted in giving back to Milwaukee. It's about circling back to the neighborhoods and the people who inspire us and ensuring that our collective generosity strengthens the very community that we call home. I'm especially excited to have our 2023 grantees with us this evening, Via CDC, The Gathering, and Islands of Brilliance. 2 years ago, these organizations inspired us with their bold visions. Tonight, they'll show us what happens when the visions become reality, powered by your generosity. They are proof that when women pool their resources, the results ripple outward, strengthening neighborhoods, feeding families, opening doors for children, and sparking creativity. That is the heart of Impact 100. Later tonight, you will hear directly from these organizations about the impact they've made, and you'll also hear from our membership team about how to join or renew and be part of choosing our 2026 grantees. But before we get to those inspiring stories, we begin with the heartbeat of Impact 100, our grants process. This is where transformation starts, with members stepping forward to review proposals, ask tough questions, and ultimately bring forward finalists who represent the very best ideas for our community. It is my honor now to welcome our grants directors, Julie Barris and Mary Lou Gonzalez, who will walk us through the journey ahead and share with you how to get involved.
Thank you, Margaret. As Margaret said, the heartbeat of Impact 100 is our grants process, and that is where each of us, each of you, can make a difference, an enormous difference. My name's Julie Barris, and this is Mary Lou Gonzalez. We're honored to serve as the grant co-directors for the 2026 grant year. Our theme this year, Back to the Community, comes to life through the grant process. Each committee ensures that member dollars are going back to organizations creating real lasting impact right here in Milwaukee. And Mary Lou will share a bit more about how that works.
Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee recognizes the many organizations working to improve lives across our four-county area, Milwaukee, Osakie, Washington, and Waukesha. To support this work and allow organizations to dream big, Impact 100 annually awards a $100,000 grant for each 100 members we have, and then awards merit grants for the remainder of the monies available. When applying for an Impact 100 grant, we ask nonprofit organizations to consider the following questions. What would $100,000 mean for bringing your mission to life? And how can you solve a critical community need? We want nonprofit organizations to think outside of the box, to aim high, to be creative and innovative. And speaking of dreaming big, the grants process is already in full swing. Postcards for our nonprofit information session on Wednesday, October 8th at Thrive on King have already gone out in the mail and by email. We hope that you received yours. If you know of any organization that should apply for the Impact 100 grant, please forward the information and encourage them to apply. We are currently accepting letters of inquiry applications until Thursday, December 4th, 70 days from today. And then we ask for your help by joining a focus area committee.
As part of our robust grants review process, we have 5 focus area committees. They're arts and culture, education, environment and revitalization, family, and health and wellness. Our grants team divides the letters of inquiry, AKA LOIs, that's what we call them, by the focus area requested by the nonprofit organizations. In early January, once the membership drive is complete and we know how many members we have, as well as the grants budget, we invite our members to join one of the 5 focus area committees. Each year, more than 100 members, that's 1/4 of our membership, serve on a grant committee. That's amazing. We greatly appreciate that support. Imagine 1 in 4 women in this room tonight raising their hands to do some heavy lifting to find the finalists we meet in 10 months. This year, we will be offering 2 virtual committees and 3 in-person committees. We need you, our members. As an all-volunteer organization, we rely on your skills, your talents, and experiences to assist in the grant review process. Grant committee service is fun and rewarding volunteer experience that gives you the unique opportunity to provide direct input into the selection of grant award recipients. Members who register to serve on a grant committee are placed on a committee based on your choice of day, time, and focus area interest, and you will be fully supported along the way.
So in late January, a grant committee training session will be held to introduce new committee members to the grants review process and to prepare returning members for their role in evaluating grant application materials. Each committee normally has 20 to 25 members. You might be wondering, what's the time commitment and what will I actually be doing during these 3 months? There are 3 committee meetings between mid-February and the end of April, plus site visits, which occur in mid-April. First, you will read and evaluate the LOIs, approximately 12 to 14 per committee, prior to the first meeting in mid-February. Then the committee will determine which organizations and projects will advance to the full proposal application process to learn a little bit more about the projects. After reading and evaluating the full grant applications, the committee will choose 2 to 3 organizations to go on a site visit to see the program or project in action. Finally, in our last meeting, each committee selects the finalists to present at the annual awards celebration, which is the culmination of 3 months of dedicated volunteer service.
One woman, one vote. but many women are needed to assist in the selection of the finalists who present at the AAC, where we vote and award our Impact 100 grants. Serving on a grant committee is informative, eye-opening, and rewarding work. An added benefit, you have the opportunity to meet and work with a group of wonderful, talented women who share the same goal of wanting to transform our community through open, fair, and thoughtful discussions within each committee. We guarantee you'll make new friends, have fun during the process, and feel energized by the impact our organization is making in the greater Milwaukee community. We highly encourage you to join Impact 100 and our grant committees. And now, we would like to welcome Lynn Hildebrand from The Gathering to talk to us about their project.
Good evening. Okay, probably need some help here. There we go. I didn't need help. Okay. First, I'd like to begin with a heartfelt thank you to Impact 100. Thank you for believing in our program, and thank you for helping our project come to life. Store more, serve more. When we first applied for this grant, we knew we had a problem. Our refrigerators were overflowed. Our freezers were overflowed. We were turning away food that we needed to feed our meal guests, and we needed a solution to this problem that we had. Just imagine the frustration we felt knowing we had meal guests outside our doors, but we couldn't store the food we needed to serve them. But your grant changed that. Because of Impact 100, we're able to expand our cold and dry storage. We purchased a ginormous new walk-in refrigerator and freezer. One of my friends from another agency came over and saw our new walk-ins, and so she said that she had refrigerator envy. Those were her words, not mine, but it's so big and we can fit so much food in it. And I know that the idea of expanded storage is kind of boring and it's practical and behind the scenes, but it was life-changing and transformational for us and our meal guests. I mean, we could say yes to Farmer Charles, who would pull up to our doors with fresh produce. We could accept larger food donations from our food partners. And it meant that week after week, we could store and serve meals to thousands and thousands of people. Let me let you see Farmer Charles. Isn't he the cutest farmer you ever saw? So Farmer Charles, he arrived at our meal site at 1300 West Fond du Lac with a truckload of corn and eggs. And in the past, we would have had to tell him, no, farmer, we don't have space for it. But because we had this grant from Impact 100 and we were able to create this great big new ginormous storage system, we took his food. And that meant we'd be able to feed hundreds and hundreds of people over the several weeks. He brought us, are you ready? 325 dozen eggs. And the saddest part about this is that he got the eggs from Amish farmers out in Beaver Dam, where he lives and where he farms. Normally those eggs, because they were too small, they would have been taken out to the fields and be smashed because they couldn't sell them. And so he rescued all those eggs, so we had those eggs to be able to serve our meal guests. Can you imagine 325 dozen eggs? You know, the impact was immediate. When we got this grant, and I was telling the ladies earlier that we just finished installing the refrigerator and freezer, and Hunger Task Force pulled up with an order of ground turkey. It was 3,000 pounds of ground turkey. Had we not had this walk-in freezer and refrigerator, we had to turn that all away. But we just finished using all that ground turkey 4 months later. But it was wonderful to be able to have that because protein's really hard to come by in meal programs. One of our guests was a mom who had 2 kids, and they never really got to eat fresh fruit and vegetables because it was too expensive and it would go bad at home too fast. But because of this grant, we were able to get more and more fresh produce from other folks, and this mom and her kids are so excited about having apple or banana, things that we all kind of take for granted, that The difference this project makes is making people and families happy and healthy. Just real quick, our program used to be a program just for homeless men, and today, with what's all going on in the world around us, we are serving more and more women and children. At our breakfast program, we serve about 40 kids a day, and that was unheard of in the past. So this grant is helping us to be able to do things we couldn't do before. Then I want to kind of walk you through what this project looked like. That's our old walk-in. It got a nice size, right? And you see the footprint where they took it away. But when we got this $100,000, we were able to purchase this massive equipment. So you can see the project goes from taking the stuff off the truck to the guys in the middle doing the electrical work, to the guy on the top doing even more. But it was just this coolest project to watch. It's something I've never experienced before, but it was a huge, huge project with all kinds of different vendors helping us make this happen. We had to completely do electrical upgrades across our building and change everything that we were doing, but it was well worth it. That's the old, that's the new. Where are you located? This location on 13th and Fond du Lac, 1300 West Fond du Lac, in the Running Rebels Youth Building. We rent out the whole first floor there. And this, you can see how much food we're able to store. You see the freezers, all those boxes, that's all protein in those boxes there on this side and the top over there. And the bottom are in our walk-in cooler. In the middle, Impact 100, a bunch of ladies came out and volunteered one day. So that's a picture of all of us in front of our new walk-in refrigerator and freezer. But we also think about what went on during the whole process of the Impact 100 grant process, and we learned so much during that process. We were able to learn how to better sell our story, tell our story, share what we're doing with other people, and we also gained new donors, new volunteers because of this process. We really got an awareness of who we are and what we're doing in the community out to more folks than knew who we were before. I didn't really know who we were very much before I got this job because it's a very well-kept secret. So the gathering. A lot of people don't know who we are. We've been around for 43 years, serving meals 6 days a week, 51 weeks out of the year. Last year, we served 93,000 meals. We have a staff of 12. We rely heavily upon volunteers to make this happen. And we're so thankful. We're so thankful for this. I can't even begin to tell you. So this is really kind of true when you have more than you need, build a longer table. But I'd like to really leave you guys with one really quick reminder that the more impact members that are around, the more impact you have in the community. And I would like to consider all of you who aren't members to consider joining. But since this process, 2 of my board members and myself, we joined Impact 100 because of the difference that this is making in the community. So we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good evening. It's great to be here, celebrate and kick off this project and how your collective generosity has really impacted the Islands of Brilliance community. So we're co-creating brilliance together. For those of you who are new to IOB or need a quick refresher, Islands of Brilliance is where autistic and neurodivergent youth discover their creativity, build confidence, and connect through art and technology. Those are nice words, but what does that actually look like? It looks like this. This is 15-year-old Alec, walked into IOB never having used Photoshop before, and with his mentor's help, created this iconic piece of art, Lego Zombie Warhol. It's been in Milwaukee Magazine and all sorts of things. That was 10 years ago. Today, Alec has an associate degree in graphic design and is working full-time, defying the 85% unemployment rate faced by autistic young adults. Last year alone, we provided over 1,300 hours of programming and 938 enrollments. This year, our enrollments are up 25 to 50% over last year, depending on the program. We've also had 3 manuscripts published in peer-reviewed journals through NEA-funded research into our methodology. And Alex's story is not an outlier. We've tracked 25 Digital Academy students of ours over the past 8 years. Their employment and post-secondary outcomes are double the national average for autistic young adults. Let me introduce 4 of them to you. On the left there, that's Nathan. He joined IOB at age 14 and just earned 2 computer science degrees from MATC. Shane, second to left, many of you remember if you're at our award ceremony saying we're in the money on stage. He actually works part-time for us now as a creative technologist, so a great full circle story. Will started us with age 11. He just graduated from UW-Whitewater, where he lettered in cross country, and he plans on coming back to IOB as a mentor this fall. And on the end, Trinity, she started IOB at age 7, one of the youngest students we've had. This summer, she participated in our collab quest with Milwaukee Brewers, you see there. She is now a freshman at the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design with an $88,000 scholarship. Yeah. So a lot of these occurred in the last 5 years when we didn't have a studio space. We closed down our studio during COVID, and as Jeff said, we were like operating out of a pirate ship at UWM, things like that. So our Impact 100 project was moving into a new building. This is the EagleKnit building in Walker's Point. It's not the space we thought we'd have when we pitched it. Our lease negotiations fell through. That's a story I'll save for another time. But give a shout out to our board chair, Kelly Scott, who's also our attorney, who set a record for fine print reading over the last couple of years. But thanks to your generosity, we now occupy a 3,000 square foot studio that was built from scratch for us. It was a blank space. And it's got all sorts of new furniture and amazing technology that looks like this. So that's what happens when students walk into a studio built just for them, especially our kids. It reflects our 13 years of learning, listening, and designing for belonging. At the heart of this space is this amazing 75-inch Vibe smartboard from Silicon Valley. It's got Zoom camera and audio. You guys helped purchase that. In our very first workshop using it, a student in Oshkosh who's participating virtually was able to present and interact live with a student in the room. They actually had a conversation together. So that's the power of this technology and the new space we have. So check that out. You guys helped make that. You know, you look at the color and the connection, the creativity in there, and the focus. The new space has transformed our Digital Academy into a fully connected hybrid environment. Here, students are participating in a midweek side quest, which brings a whole new level of learning and collaboration. There are 3 other students who are participating virtually there. One of my favorite stories of the summer is about Lily and Gabby. They're 2 extraordinarily talented teens. Both struggled in traditional classrooms. Both were bullied because they're a little different. But at IOB, they found a space for belonging. They worked together in a small pod with our digital lead, Chris Willey, and that's a setup made possible by our new layout and furniture. They shared lunch breaks on our rooftop with a view of the skyline and a horizon full of possibility. They became fast friends, bonded through shared interests and a love of creativity. That friendship has continued outside of IOB, and this is just the first of many stories your support will make possible. The space is drawing a lot of attention, partners, funders, and even the media. In August, Brian Cramp from Fox 6 broadcast 7 live segments from our studio, including interviews with students and staff, and yes, Impact 100 Milwaukee was mentioned multiple times during those live segments. Whoops, I gotta go back one. So I hope that our IOB story inspires you, and you're proud of the space you've helped co-create. I hope longtime Impact 100 members stay with us, or stay with this beautiful mission, I hope new members here tonight decide to sign on. And if you want an incredible example of women giving as one, the Islands of Brilliance studio space is open to you for any future member recruitment events. I know the generosity you've shown us will be extended to many other worthy organizations in our community, and we thank you for that.
All right, good evening. Thank you, thank you. My name is Lisa King, Deputy Director of VIA CDC, and I'm joined by Johnny D'Agostino, our Real Estate Development Director. So VIA is a community development organization. We are founded by the School Sisters of St. Francis 30 years ago with a focus on business development, community development, and housing development. We partnered with Impact 100 on our affordable housing development work. So this started in 2008 after the Great Recession when there are many vacant and foreclosed homes in our neighborhood. We transformed those homes into turnkey-ready homes for income-qualified neighbors, and in 2023, partnered with Impact Milwaukee to start a new chapter of our affordable housing development work, which was new construction. So we partnered on a 3-home pilot project to develop 1,100 square feet homes on Milwaukee's vacant lots sold to income-qualified families for $105,000. This addressed 2 major housing issues in the city of Milwaukee. The first being an inventory gap. There are thousands of families who are ready to purchase an affordable home, but much fewer affordable homes that are in development. This is especially pertinent to our Black and brown families who are facing issues around historic redlining, systemic racism, and issues around discriminatory lending and others. It also addressed a major issue being vacant lots. The city of Milwaukee owns thousands of lots throughout the city. These vacant lots attract nuisance behaviors, illegal dumping, like we can see in this picture, and bring down the property values of homes surrounding them on that block. So through our partnership with Impact 100 and other partners, we turned a 3-home pilot into developing 20 homes for income-qualified early childhood educators making between $12 and $24 an hour. We have sold 6 of those homes and are in various levels of development and construction for an additional 14 homes. So Impact 100's $100,000 is continuously recycled into every home that we develop. We are able to take the proceeds of each home sale, combine that with additional philanthropic dollars to continuously reinvest and create a pipeline of affordable housing that goes to support families in need throughout Milwaukee. This initiative is a $7 million initiative. It is not cheap or easy to develop affordable homes, which is why Milwaukee is only one of 2 nonprofit affordable housing development organizations throughout the city of Milwaukee who does this work. $1,000 is a bit of a drop in a bucket when it comes to that work, but by collectively bringing these dollars together, we are able to really make an impact and continuously develop these homes for families in need. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Johnny, who's going to give you a little tour of one of our homes so you can see what it looks like.
Before you start the video, I just want to say a couple words because
Okay.
it'll be hard to say.
Okay, Johnny's going to say a couple words
Yep.
before the video starts.
Hi. So I'm the real estate development director. So essentially, I think about every minute of the day, essentially, how do we build these 20 homes? Have been for the last 2 to 3 years. We've learned a lot throughout the process. I want to just touch on a couple things before we started on the video because it goes pretty quick. So I just wanted to give a little bit of information. In the city of Milwaukee, most lots are long and narrow. So we needed to create a design that was long and narrow that could fit the family's needs. Families, oftentimes with the people we serve and the families we serve, they don't just have their immediate family. Often they have extended family that they'll move into. So it's really hard when you have a small, narrow lot, which is often what the city is giving us with a limited budget, to figure out how do we serve these families and their extended family at times that we know they're going to move in. So we were able to, through this process, through the support of Impact 100 as well, is to invest and think about how do we do a couple things to save money and also have control over being adaptive and agile in our design. So a couple of things we did that I want to touch on was, one is we have an in-house designer that we actually created our own design, so therefore we have a copyright of our design. In doing so, we don't have to go to the architect every time we need to make a change, which oftentimes costs money and it's slow. It just is. So we can just make a quick tweak. Oh, we got to change this window. We got to do different things that make a difference from house to house. And we've had various iterations in which we've made tweaks that have made the house either cheaper, construction faster, or better for the homeowner, one of the three. The other thing I want to touch on is throughout the process, we were also able to pivot from being just a developer to becoming a general contractor as well. So they're a developer, general contractor. In doing so, we also have a lot more flexibility with construction and control over negotiating pricing, as well as, and in doing so, we probably save 25 to 30,000 minimum per project. So over 20 projects, we're talking, 500,000 or more. So we've definitely saved a lot of money in that regard, be able to do that. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. This has been very helpful in doing all that. That has helped us get as lean as we can possibly get. And so now we can talk about the home.
So this is one of our homes that we developed on the near south side of Milwaukee in the Clark Square neighborhood.
Yep, we just sold this a couple weeks ago. You can see this is really what all of our houses look like. So it doesn't look particularly large, right? But there is a lot going on within it. And look how narrow that lot is. Look how much space there is. So we only have a 30-foot wide lot with a 23-foot wide house. That's it. But as you walk in, you can see it's an open concept with a vaulted ceiling. Very modern looking, a lot of light, a lot of windows. So you have plenty of space, a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, a 2-car parking pad in the back. And then also in the basement is honestly where I kind of, as a construction guy, geek out because it's a basement, right? But what's cool about the basement is, hopefully as we get down there, what's really cool is that we are set up to have 3 extra bedrooms. We have egress windows. So then you can add square footage. Although it's not in our budget to do so, it's definitely minimal cost because we have a rough-in plumbing for an extra bathroom and 3 extra bedrooms if they would like to build that out. So that helps for future growth with the families that we serve. And I can tell you already, I know for sure, because we've kept in touch with all these homeowners we sold to, a lot of them already built out parts of the house and the basement, some of them too, already. So they're definitely expanding, and I know for sure some of the family members have been able to move in, parents, different things like that. So it's been very impactful to not just the individuals we have sold to, but extended family.
Yeah, and I think that really goes to show that VIA, as a nonprofit developer, are willing to invest a little bit more to add details to the home that we know will benefit our neighbor and community. All of the blueprints that we developed went through a neighbor feedback process. We learned what they want, what they don't want, and we're really making those considerations in all of the homes that we develop.
Yeah, one more thing that we probably spent about an extra $10,000 to have the basement ready to be built out. I mean, $10,000 doesn't seem like that much, but when you're on a tight budget, it is a lot. We've been willing and we've made the sacrifice to do that. We've also been able to be agile and make tweaks within that because that's a new thing. Like people aren't just really, like affordable housing doesn't really do that. Like Habitat was like, we've got so many houses going right now. When I talk to them, they're like, we just can't pivot to it right now because they just have a process. And we're like, well, we can. We have our own design. We're going to do it. And we're very close with Habitat, and they do amazing things. We share ideas all the time. And this is one where they're like, if you can figure this out, let us know, and we'll look into this on our next iteration.
So thank you so much for your support.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bridget Ty. First, a heartfelt thank you. A heartfelt thank you to VSCDC, The Gathering, and Islands of Brilliance. The work you do and continue to do is truly transformational. So thank you so much for sharing your story tonight. So moving. So a few years ago, a friend of mine invited me to a casual ladies' night. I think a couple people are here tonight who were also at that ladies' night. And she said beforehand that she wanted to share with us a little bit about an organization that she cared about. I was just immediately blown away by the simple yet profound concept of coming together and giving as one. One of my favorite parts about being a member of Impact is the education I've received about the nonprofits doing incredible work right here in our community. Once you learn about a nonprofit through Impact, you start to see them everywhere. On the news, in your neighborhood, in conversations. I've spotted grant winners on TV, and just recently while driving, I saw the 2024 recipient Street Angels and their Showers of Hope helping our homeless. And it's just been so eye-opening to me that all of this was happening, this whole time right around me. And I just would have never known about any of these amazing organizations without Impact 100. I also love that with one donation, you can choose the level of engagement that fits your life. So maybe you simply just want to give in a way that has a big impact. Impact 100 is here for you. Or maybe you want to network and grow deeper ties in your community. Impact 100 has a spot for you too. But maybe you want to go even deeper and serve on one of our grant committees and help decide which organizations move forward to our annual awards celebration, and Impact 100 has a spot for you. Last year, our membership grew to 422 members, allowing a $422,000 investment. We're really shooting for a goal of 450 members or more, of course, this year, because just imagine the profound impact that $450,000 could make back to our community. So this year, we are continuing our initiative to grow the next generation of Impact 100 members through our Young Philanthropist program. These members under the age of 40 have 2 years of eligibility as they start their philanthropic journey, getting a little financial lift from donors within our organization with a donation of $550. So with our scholarship support, participants can step into membership, become part of our giving community, and grow into confident contributors. And we've proudly raised enough money to support 36 future change makers just this year. So as I mentioned, we have big goals this year to have even more members than we've ever had. So who do you know that you can tell about Impact 100? Adding to the fun, anyone who renews or joins tonight will be entered into a giveaway for a Nordstrom gift card. Other ways to enter the giveaway, if you've already renewed or joined, many months ago, which we appreciate you for that too, is just by referring a friend to Impact or following and tagging us on social media. So look out for our membership support team, Maggie and Stacy. Oh yeah, okay. So we have our fun little also giveaways to anyone who renews or joins tonight. Gets a fun keychain handmade by Maggie and Stacy themselves. So they'll be available after the program to answer any questions and help anyone come and join this amazing community of women. So the grants we give are so much more than $100,000. They allow organizations like you saw tonight to expand, to dream bigger, and to change lives. And none of that happens without you. So don't forget to invite your friends, if I didn't say that 7 other times, because the more members we have, the greater impact we can create. So, and now to say just a few closing remarks, I'll welcome Margaret back up to the stage.
What an incredible evening. We've heard from our grantees who showed us how generosity becomes impact. We've been reminded of the power of our grants process to uncover bold ideas for Milwaukee. And we've been invited to keep this movement strong by renewing our memberships and bringing others into the fold. That was number 8, Bridget. This year's theme, Back to the Community, is more than just a phrase. It's a vision. When we say back to the community, we mean building a Milwaukee where every child has the chance to thrive, where families are supported, where neighborhoods are vibrant and safe, and where creativity and opportunity are open to all. That's what happens when we come together. We are not just giving back, we are building back, creating a community that is stronger, more connected, and more hopeful for the future. That's also the spirit behind this year's Global Day of Impact. We are truly going back to the community with an exciting new format. During the day, members will be able to choose from 2 hands-on learning experiences, and in the evening, we will gather for a celebration and a service event. Space will be limited, so please watch for the announcement and register early. Before we close, I want to extend a special thank you to our sponsors. Your partnership helps make nights like this possible and strengthens our ability to drive impact across Greater Milwaukee. We are grateful for your support and belief in this mission. As we leave tonight, I hope you carry the energy in this room with you. Invite a friend to join. Consider stepping into a grants committee. And most of all, remember that you are part of something bigger, a movement of women creating lasting change for our community. Thank you for being here tonight, for believing in the power of women's philanthropy, and for putting impact into action. The best is yet to come.